This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Inside the Runner Studio. This is your host Tom, and with me as always are Aaron, Michael, and Diana.
Hello.
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 And we are joined today by our friend Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Also known as Fox Hollywood.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
So he is a celebrity.
It's like a merger of two
he was. he was on Fox News.
I thought you were on the Jumbotron at like Marathon Weekend.
Tony, why don't you tell us why are you Fox Hollywood?
Well, I was on the big screen a few times at Marathon Weekend, but I'm Hollywood from your buddy Greg over at Rise and Run. So when I first met them, and since I pretty much run Disney Social every weekend with my costumes, so that's where that came from. Yep, and then having some ciders after the. Yeah, and then having some ciders after the 10K at Marathon Weekend, some person randomly came up to me and asked if I would do an interview. And it was a Disney PR person. So then I got interviewed on Fox 35, I think it was, in Orlando. And walking away, I told the person right away, I'm like, I'm never going to live this down. And the second I got back, it was Fox News Tony from there forward.
Because he's famous. We're not worthy to have such a famous celebrity on our podcast.
I feel like this is gonna graduate us to a different level of stardom.
We'll get to Rise and Run levels.
All right,
we need a
Bob.
Oh yeah, we need a voice.
We need a voice of an
Sorry,
angel.
Yep, that's true.
Hey, I do not take offense. We don't need a Greg though.
Poor Greg. We love you, Greg.
Isn't he in Hawaii right now? I mean, he doesn't care.
He's freshly back. He texted me when he was flying back. I was like,
get back? Okay.
Second time in Hawaii in a couple months. Must be rough.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Tough.
Terrible.
So sad for him.
He's got that Patreon money. That's why he can fly.
I know, right? He's flying on the Rise and Run jet. All right, Tony. So you know the drill. We're going to ask you some running-related questions, some non-running related questions, and get to know you. But before we do you want to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself? God, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm Tony. I'm from Wisconsin. There's snow outside. So yeah, it's cold. It's fun to run in winter, summer, fall. You get all the seasons here. You know, it's not bad. My first year running, I had no idea what to do in winter. So I remember my first winter run, I was completely bundled up in way too much clothes. And a half mile in, I was like, I'm going to have a heat stroke right now. Just sweating profusely. So yeah, gradually learning.
Mm-hmm. Everyone has that story of like when they first start running and you're like, oh, it's cold. And you end up wearing like sweatpants and like a hoodie because you don't know what you're doing and instantly regret it.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right into the questions. And my friend Diana has our first running
Your friend.
We're also friends.
My roommate.
We're also friends. My wife Diana is going to ask you our first running related question.
Like, got promoted to friend.
He's like, stop referring to me as your roommate. What is your go-to post-run food or drink?
Mine's pretty horrible. I don't take care of myself from like a health perspective. So there's many times I'll end a run, like a long run, and next thing you know, I got a mixer in my hand before I even made it home because my neighbors are outside having a driveway beer, and then I pull up and
love it.
And it's a couple hours later, and it's like, man, I have a horrible headache because all I've drank for the last couple hours is alcohol. So that's typically what I do. I'm not going to lie. So there's no like legit good go-to when I finish a run.
That's fair.
Now I just want to share a pineapple cider.
What are your ideal running conditions? You've talked about all the seasons. Which one do you prefer?
Probably fall, like 50 degrees. I sweat profusely, so if I can get to like 50 where I start out sort of cold, then I can kind of plateau out 40 to 50. Like when I was doing my dopey training runs and it was like 40 degrees out, say I was doing like a 20 miler, my wife would meet me halfway so I could switch hats and shirts because I'd be completely saturated, which isn't ideal when it's cold out.
No.
And I run walk, so like those walking segments get real cold real quick. So that, yeah, probably like 40, 50 degrees. No wind. Wind is the worst.
I think that's the worst is when you sweat and then you get cold.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then when you sweat, like if I wear my hat forward, it sweats so much that it's like dropping in my sunglasses and my face. So then I put it backwards, but then my back gets all wet from it dripping down my back. So it's like a no-win situation.
Nope.
Yeah, it happened to me yesterday because I went out and it was like 40. But I haven't really run outside that much. And I'm like, oh, I'll put on hat and gloves. And then like 3 blocks down the street, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, then you're like, hide him like behind a tree and come back for him. You're like,
my issue is I get influenced by like what other people are wearing or like what other people say. So I used to go out with like friends and they'd be like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I would get paranoid. So I'd like put all these clothes on knowing that I run hot anyway. And then I'd show up with like hat and gloves and I'd be like, why am I wearing this?
Yeah.
And then you got to carry it.
Yes.
There's one yard that I always like, because I start from my house always and run through my neighborhood to get to a trail from here. And there's one house that's like where I always dump my clothes. It's about 3/4 of a mile in, so then I'm warmed up. So that's where like sweatshirt, sweatpants, whatever, I just throw them all in that yard and then grab it on my way back. Or if my wife leaves, she'll grab it for me. But
nice.
Those people they've never said anything to me, but that is my clothing dump off, that same yard every time.
That's nice. Let's see. So do you run with music?
Yes and no. I usually run to podcasts. If I run to music, I run way too fast. So if it's a speed workout, then I'll turn on music. Otherwise I can't. Like I'll be like, all right, nice easy run. We'll go for 10, 11 minute pace today. Music's on, get done. Oh, cool. It was like 8:39. Like, why did I do this?
Now, you've told me, though, that you can't run to certain podcasts. Is there a particular podcast you can't run to?
Yeah, the worst podcast to run to is Will Run For. Because I laugh the whole time like we are right now. So I listen to this while I'm working on flights. So then I look like a weirdo because I'm just laughing uncontrollably. So the first time I listened to you guys on a plane with my wife, she's like looking at me. She's like, what in the hell are you listening to? Because you're just laughing the whole flight. So
wait until you hear tomorrow's episodes where I try to pronounce double letter.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Anyway.
All right. Have you ever had a running injury?
Currently, yes. And previously, my IT band in my right knee right now and my left knee earlier last year. So, yeah. I injured that 2 weeks before Dopey this year. So that was cool. God. Super ideal. So then I took it easy and I took every race easy until the marathon, and right after Main Street, I felt it go. So leading up, the doctor told me it was arthritis. So they gave me a shot in my knee, didn't do anything. And so then I felt it happen right after Main Street. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly what it felt like in my other knee when that happened. And yeah, so it was brutal. The last 16 miles hurt quite a bit. And then I learned too that if you let it get cold, it's even worse. So like waiting in lines and stuff. I learned that after Animal Kingdom, after I went on Everest and Triceratops spin. So after I waited like in 45 minutes worth of lines and rides, I was like, fuck, man, I can't get running again. This hurts so bad.
Yeah.
The lady at the med tent, she's like, stop moving or don't stop moving.
Yeah, that's probably a sign you probably shouldn't keep going, but...
Well, there's that.
We're all pretty dumb, so, you know.
We finished. Well, and like my family was at mile 24 and a half or so at Epcot. So like I had no choice. Like my mom flew down with my wife and my daughter. So it's like,
had to get there. Yeah.
Like if I'm crawling there, I'm getting there. There was no way I wasn't.
Yeah. It is pretty hard, like sending those texts, like letting people know where you are. It's like, hey, I've slowed down a lot.
Oh yeah, I told I text my wife. I was like, yeah, I'm walking right now. I'm in a really dark place, so let's see if we make it there.
The pain cave.
Yep.
But then I found Selene after Animal Kingdom. We ran together the rest of the way, so at least I had like we talked and stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
So like she could tell like when it would hurt, we'd slow down. But like we kept running and walking for the most part. So it definitely helped me mentally.
Always good
that.
to have a friend out there on course.
For sure.
Yeah. It was right about the same time that I yelled at Erin when she was going into Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And then she looked around clueless.
Like, I looked around, like, what's happening?
I was like, yep, she has no idea who said that.
Well, the next question kind of comes from the last one a little bit and getting through this hard runs. Do you have a running mantra that helps you get through stuff?
It's kind of yes and no. It's kind of my why at the same time. So like on my watch and everything, it says do it for Natalie, which is my daughter, which is why I started running. So yeah, basically I went to Disney we started going to Disney a bunch, and I saw a picture of myself on a plane and I was like, man, that's not what I used to look like at all. So I started running to get healthy, to be around longer for her, set a good example and all this stuff. So that was 3-4 years ago now. And yeah, so that's so whenever anything's going wrong, I just look down at my watch and there it is.
Oh, that's great.
That's adorable.
I love that.
And also, I just want to say what's also really adorable is that she has little tiny Peloton shoes.
Aww.
And she gets on the Peloton.
So cute.
Yeah, we have to fight over it.
The cutest pictures in the entire universe.
Yeah, it's the argument of who's going on the treadmill, who's going on the Peloton every time. But ever since they added the Netflix aspect of that, like she's all, I'm going to go watch Boss Baby and ride the Peloton.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
All right, we're going to move into the random question. What is the one thing that everyone loves but you absolutely hate?
Oh, see, so that was one that I read, and I'm like, I can't think of anything. If I stick to Disney, like Dole Whip, I don't care about. I feel like everything that people prop up on a shelf at Disney, I'm like, it's not great. Like, why do you like it? Like like I always make the reference to like Nickelback. Like people hate Nickelback, but someone famous must have said that because everyone loves Nickelback. Everyone loves Nickelback. Everyone knows every song from Nickelback. You know, like so, like where the hell did this all come from?
I mean, you could just say Country Bears. It's okay.
Yeah, I've been to Disney 15 times. I've never once sat in Country Bears, and darn, I can't do it ever again.
It just shut down last night.
Early because it broke down because it barely worked for the last 20 years.
Yeah, it was running and it was running extra, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, they overheated.
We went
Citrus Swirl is better than Dole Whip.
I agree.
When we were in Disneyland, we were just hating on people who were pretending that the turkey legs were good.
Oh yeah,
they're so not good.
That was my first trip ever. I bought one.
Yeah.
And then once you have it in your hand, you're like, holy shit, this is a lot to eat.
It's like,
and then you start eating and you're like, okay, 3 bites, I'm good. Now what do I do with the rest of this thing?
Yeah,
it's like smoked or something. Yeah. Let's see. We didn't have a music question. What is one album you could listen to any day or time and get lost in it?
So I don't listen to any like consistent music. I'm all over the spectrum. Like, you give me some Taylor Swift, you give me some AC/DC, like whatever I'm feeling on the day. But it'd probably be some AC/DC music. That was the first concert I went to with my wife, but that was like, I listened to that way before her. And then like my daughter will still listen to it with us. So it's outside of Disney music, it would be probably some AC/DC, Shoot the Thrill.
All right. Do you have a reoccurring dream or nightmare?
Yes. It's not great. So like I never flew on an airplane until after college. And I've been having this dream since well before that. It's that I'm on a plane and it crashes in the woods and I'm still connected to my chair and I'm like alive somewhere in the woods and people can't find me. And I'm just like stuck strapped into a chair. So every time I fly to Disney and back, like you're flying over those Georgia pines and I'm like, oh, this is probably where this is going to happen whenever this is it. It's going to be in all these trees here. Yeah.
I like,
but I'm not afraid of flying. Like I don't care about turbulence, anything like that. But that's what I picture.
I like that it's specific. That it's not just the plane crash; it's that you're stuck in the woods, strapped to a chair, and so you survive. But now no one can find you.
Yeah, and then you wake up, so you don't know if you just wither away or if someone finds you or if a bear eats you or what. You know, like it's open ended.
Oh God,
fantastic.
All right, next question. And also, when I first read this question, I read it as, "Are you a homeboy?" And I was like, "That's a weird question."
It as a homeboy. Every time I look at it,
Tony, are you a homeboy?
So I was like, "What question is this?" But it's, "Are you a homebody? Or are you always on the go?"
Or you can answer if you're a homeboy.
Or a homeboy. Or
Either way.
I'm mostly a homebody. I never used to be, but I don't know. Once I became a dad, it's kind of fun to just hang at home with the family and stuff.
Yeah.
But like if you say, "Hey, we're having drinks over here," I'm gonna go there. So it's
Yeah.
it kind of depends on what. Like, I'm not gonna go to a bar really anymore or anything like that. But like if my neighbor says, "Hey, driveway beers," there's a reason why a bunch of us in our neighborhood have scooters, so we can just scoot over to each other's house really quick.
Amazing.
Oh my God,
For
that's
Christmas,
hilarious.
my in-laws got me a Igloo fanny pack that fits like 3 or 4 beers in it.
Oh my
So
God,
it's perfect to take on the scooter.
Roadies.
So
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So great.
So when you're watching television shows, do you like to binge watch them, or do you like the weekly episode style?
So like weekly episode style, I like for like Mando. Otherwise, I try to binge. This is the number one thing my wife hates about me. I try to binge something, but I don't have patience or attention span. So I will Google and find out what happened. Like we watch tons of like murder mystery stuff like that. Like I don't like sitcoms. I don't like movies. I like things that like really happened. So documentaries, stuff like that. So we were watching one last week, and within 2 minutes of starting the show, I already knew how it ended because I Googled it, read all about it. But then I just like play along, and we didn't finish
how's
it.
it gonna get there? Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't finish it that night. So the next day, my wife's like, "You want to watch that to see what happens?" I'm like, and then she's like, "Wait, you already looked it up?" I'm like, "Yes, I did before like the show even started."
Yeah.
So,
like the
yeah,
credits
I don't-
were rolling.
I
don't
used
have
to read
patience.
the last page of a book. Like halfway through a book, because I would like when I was a teenager, like I had the same like no patience kind of thing. So I would read like a book and then read like the last couple pages because I'd be like, "What's going to happen? I need to know." So I was a terrible person like that too. Not that you're a terrible person. That sounds really bad.
I don't
but
know.
I was
The
like,
book,
I'm just
the
gonna
book
log off
feels
this interview quick.
egregious, like me.
I don't do it anymore, but yes, I understand that feeling, especially when it comes to documentaries. I have in the past done what you do, where I'm like, "Oh, this is so intriguing. I need to know what happened."
It's fair. All right, we are going to head into the James Lipton Memorial questions, and as always, we start off with, what is your favorite word?
I mean, everyone always says it, but is definitely a word I say a lot. I'm a product of the 90s. That's when I grew up. So you give me some 90s rap, hip hop, R&B.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Like that's where my vocabulary is based in. So
And what is your least favorite word?
I don't really have one. I was reading that, and I've listened to all these before, and I don't know. Like I hate when people quit. I hate when I hear my daughter say "I can't." So probably "I can't" if we can hyphenate it to make it one word.
Yeah,
because like you can't say "I can't." Like you got to at least try multiple ways, different things, figure it out.
Okay, I think we've definitely had something similar to that.
Yeah.
All right, let's not make this weird. Tony, what turns you on?
Besides your voice,
understandable.
Laughter. People that can make you laugh is definitely a high up.
So
thing
we
on
turn you on every
list.
week.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's why I can't do it while I'm running. I don't want to get pulled over off a trail like a weirdo.
That's why you wear shorts over tights. Never wear just tights.
All right, Mike.
Is
Now,
Is that your fuel?
all of our visual listeners, you're welcome. All right, what turns you off?
Arrogance, for sure. People I hate when you talk to someone and they only talk about themselves. It's like, ask me one question at least. Turn the tables a little bit. So I'm like, when people, it's just them the whole time. It's like, man, like who the hell wants to talk to you ever? So,
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let me write this down. So Aaron turns you off. I'm kidding. Aaron, you're my favorite person ever. Stop that.
Oh God. All right. What sound or noise do you love?
Laughing. I don't know.
Yep.
Do I love? There's not much. I don't know. I don't like random noises, I guess. So I don't know. What's your favorite noise? Let's turn the table quick.
Oh, what's my favorite noise? I would probably say like my favorite was probably is when my dog is like dreaming and he's doing those like tiny little roughs in his sleep, like he's chasing a squirrel in his dreams.
Aww.
That's a really good answer. Also, no one's turned the tables on us before.
Good.
I like that.
And then
It's a way to buy time.
There you go. So you can think about it. And then what sound or noise do you hate?
Yelling, whining. Probably whining is the number one thing. Having a 6-year-old, you get a lot of whining.
I was going to say,
and it just,
how old?
Yeah, like your patience is only for so long. And then it's like, all right, here we go. Like we're going to learn why whining is bad.
Yeah.
Well, you said your favorite word was already a curse word. So is that, I'm assuming it's all going to be the same. What is your favorite curse word?
Yeah, I would say fuck again for a little bleep. I say a lot. Goddamn. I say that too frequently, to the point that my daughter knows how to properly use it. So that's always fun. Like if she does something like, accidentally like hits her hand on something, God damn it. I'm like, well, that's not ideal. Let's not bring that to school.
Yeah. You got to learn where you can use this and where you can't. Right?
Yeah, my 3-year-old niece has dropped the F-bomb a couple of times, and my brother's like, that's her mother, number one. And then her older brother just narks on her all the time. It's always like, Georgia said the word.
I get blamed all the time by my wife when my daughter says something like that. It's like, yep, I'll take it.
Connor weirdly did not curse for a long time, but he's a gamer, so now it's like incessant when they're gaming.
Well, I feel like it was like almost uncool because parents did it. So like, because like generationally wise, he's in an age range where like all his parents are like, our age, millennial, late millennial to early Gen Xers, where cursing was like a big thing. And now he's kind of like where it became not cool. But now that he's gaming, we hear it all the time upstairs.
I remember we had the niece and nephew over for a sleepover, and we're in the kitchen, and something happened, but the 6-year-old comes around the corner. He just says something like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, what? Where does that come from? You're 6. Like it was just so weird.
Like something startled him, I think.
He's like, Jesus. I'm like, all right. I didn't.
That one was probably me.
Not that that's a swear, but I'm like, it's weird coming out of a 6-year-old's mouth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
Oh God. So what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
That's a great question. My profession isn't that fun. It's very stressful. So I don't know, something fun. I honestly so I watch a lot of weird YouTube videos. Like I watch people that farm. I watch people that like flip stuff, concrete people. So like those are all, I always tell people like I watch stuff that I think I would enjoy doing, but I would never want to do. So maybe one of those, so that's, I don't know.
Do you watch
something that's got to pay the bills more so I can keep running at Disney specifically since it's so expensive.
Yeah. Do you watch the videos where the people make like huts and stuff out of clay bricks that they make in the woods? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they like will dig out a hole and then make their own bricks from like clay and.
No, but I do watch weird camping videos, like people that like stealth camp. That's some of the most interesting stuff. Camp. Like they camp behind like signs and stuff. Like when people are constantly walking by and trying to get away with it.
I feel like that's called stalking, but
my YouTube algorithm has to be the weirdest shit possible, like on the planet.
You're definitely on a list somewhere.
Oh gosh! And on that, what profession would you not like to do?
I feel like everyone says it, like a doctor or something. Like minus like seeing people's like guts and stuff, but like bringing bad news. Like I feel like you're bringing bad news 10 times out of the one time you bring good news.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, this has been a pleasure. And I get the privilege of asking you our final question. But before I do, thank you for being on with us. So, Tony, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I don't know what it'd be like. What I would like to hear him say, he'd probably be like, "How'd you make it here?" So that's kind of how I look at it.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, you in the right place.
You're on
Fantastic. Well, thank you for taking a little time to be with the little people.
Yes.
The little people.
I know that we're not Fox News. I know we're not Rise and Run.
We might be.
It's
I don't
hard
know.
to.
There's a lot of hosts over there. We might be on that podcast.
We may be on there too. We don't know. We don't know yet.
Fantastic.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom? Any shout outs you'd like to give? Anything you'd like to plug?
I'm not like a wannabe social media influencer, so my name's Tony. But yeah, like it's been fun. I like, like I said, I like listening to you guys. You make me laugh and everything. So it's fun to be a part of this, and be on this side of it. So, thanks for having me, and we'll see you at the next couple races, maybe.
What's your next Disney race?
Next Disney race is going to be Wine and Dine. My whole family is going to run the 5K with me, and then I'll do
fun.
the challenge. My next race is Best Damn Half in Orlando.
See, Michael just said we should go down there.
There's a whole crew of us going.
I know,
Run Disney
that's what
people
I told
going.
him. That's what I said.
Steph's going.
I know.
Yeah, so knee permitting, I'll be there. I already told most of them, like, I'm not going if my knee is still hurting. Like,
yeah,
I just wouldn't feel right as a dad just being like, oh, see you guys later. I'm just going to go to Disney and hang out for a couple days. It's different when I go for a race.
When you get older, when they get older, it's like, yeah, we're going to go away for the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Then I have Chicago. I have Chicago this year.
Oh, nice.
I want to run. There's a local marathon in Green Bay in May that I want to run, and then I might run the Fox Cities Marathon, which would be just like a catered training run for Chicago. So we'll see what my body tells me. It's really the decision at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, Tony, thank you very much again for being on, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.